What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Platinum Podcast, where we talk about all things gaming, all things PlayStation, and all things trophies. I am joined today by Joel, aka GuyFarruski. How are you doing, Joel?
I'm doing good, mate. How are you?
I am spot on. Thank you very much for asking.
Good.
We've got a very jam-packed episode this week. There's been a lot of small, itty-bitty dramas, and there's been quite a few big dramas. We'll talk about a little bit later on. If you've watched the podcast before, you know the sort of how we roll. We talk about, we ease you into the conversation. We need to warm up our vocal cords as well. We talk about what we've been playing. We then talk about a few trophy topics. Then we talk about the news of the week, or the couple of weeks that in between podcasts. So, Joel, do you want to take us away? What have you been playing this week?
I've been playing Persona 5.
Persona 5.
Persona 5. I
What
played it when
a game.
I know, right? I played it on release, and well, maybe not on release. I played it when it first came out, and I just bashed through the game, but I ended up burning myself out. So basically, to platinum the game, you have to pretty much do a playthrough and a half. I did the whole playthrough, and then I got to like a quarter of the New Game Plus, and I just stopped. I gave up. And I have like one trophy left.
It came out in 2017, didn't it?
I think so. I've got a case.
And then the Royal Edition came out this year.
This year, yeah.
Which is kind of confusing because it's a different trophy list. And there's different trophy requirements, but the game is the same.
It's a bit longer, I think. So I think it's got like extra sections, and it's got like a couple new characters. But apparently, although the game is longer, the trophies are easier. Because in this one, for some trophies, they're kind of grindy. But for Royale, I think they've either taken away a lot of the grindy trophies, or they've like just lowered the requirements.
Right. Okay.
I'll be playing Royale eventually, maybe in a year, because I know this is gonna burn me out again.
There's so many games; it's so hard, I think,
Right.
to replay the big games, even if they are potentially. Persona 5 is probably top 5 games on the PS4 as an exclusive. Would you say?
Yeah, for sure. Even people who aren't like into anime and stuff, it's very anime stylish. But even for people who aren't, like for example, for people who like Pokemon, Persona is probably the perfect game to substitute that on PlayStation, because it kind of plays similarly. You got your Personas, you fight with the Personas, you level them up. Personas, you catch Personas, so it's kind of a little bit like it. So if you're on PlayStation and you like Pokemon and you want like a Pokemon, I mean, if you're on PlayStation, you should have played Persona already, because it's massive. It's like, I think it got like a 10 out of 10 when it came out. It was insane. Yes, you have.
I haven't. No,
you've never played it.
No, I've
What?
I've watched loads of stuff about it. I know it's an amazing game. Bear in mind, I only got my PlayStation 4 in 2017. I was on Xbox until 2017. There's my defense.
Man.
But I appreciate it. I know it's an amazing game. It's on the ever-stretching, the never-ending backlog. It may join. I've decided I'm going to set goals for next year. I'm going to pick, say, 10 games that I'm going to finish completely.
Okay.
And Persona 5 is probably going to be on that list. Is Red Dead 2? Probably not. Unless I get more comments.
All right. Okay.
Unless I get forced to play it.
I tell you what, if you do play Persona, and if you platinum Persona, I'll probably ease off on the Red Dead Redemption 2 thing.
Okay,
because Persona's kind of on the same level. I love Persona as much as I did love Red Dead Redemption 2. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I love Persona a little bit more. It was a bit more fun, I think. I think Red Dead after a while got a little bit too serious and a bit too demanding.
So yeah, I think Red Dead as a game, as a story, and the online, just playing it until you get bored is actually pretty phenomenal. But when you start grinding out the trophies, that's where it's sort of like,
yeah, it sucks your soul. What have you been playing though?
Well, I don't want to dwell on mine too much because nothing's really changed. I'm still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And Avengers from last.
Okay.
Same as last time. Nothing's really changed at all. And I've been dying on the grind of Avengers. If I'm being honest, it's it's a bit tough, but I don't want to talk about it too much because I spoke about this so much. But I want to talk about our trophy topic, which stems really well in me playing Marvel Avengers and you starting Persona 5, which is trophy hunting fatigue. So if you play a lot of games and you collect and you max them out and you want to try and earn all the trophies for them, eventually it comes a point when there's a game and the game is too much, so it's too long, it's got too difficult or specific trophies, and you just get burnt out. Joel's just said it. Joel, I know you were burnt out playing Red Dead 2.
Yeah.
How do we deal with it? Like, how would you say, what do you do when you get burnt out? How do you keep going?
I mean, it depends on the game, and it depends on what I'm getting burnt out from. Like, if you play games, or if you platinum games like I do, I usually try and mix doing the story with like the miscellaneous and grindy stuff, so it doesn't all dawn on me when I'm like on endgame. So if it's like if it's a grindy thing that I'm getting bored of, and I can kind of put it aside for a bit, I'll just carry on playing the story for a bit, and then go back to it, I don't know, maybe a couple of days later. If it's actually a whole game that I'm getting burnt out, then I'll limit myself every day to like a certain amount of time, or like a threshold. Like for Red Dead Redemption 2 Online, for example, I used to do every day. I used to either level up once, or if I couldn't level up, I'd do like a couple of hours. But that would be my limit. And then I'd play something else, and then start again the next day.
I think that's the best way to do it. I think, like, this is exactly what I'm having the issue with Avengers. Is, so for example, yesterday, I've been doing a lot of like sort of multitasking, so I'm watching something else and playing Avengers. I ended up playing Avengers for 5 hours yesterday, which is a long time. And I was pretty like fried, and I was thinking today, I'm not going to play it today. I ended up playing it for an hour, but I think you're right. It's sort of like, it's definitely managing your time and taking a break and knowing, like, when enough's enough, you kind of just need to say, like, I'm going to take a step away from it today or tomorrow or a week. Because I think I'm going to put a limit onto my playing of Marvel's Avengers now. I think going forward, it's going to be like an hour a day. Because although I think I'm so close, but I'm not, because I've got a glitch trophy. So the trophy is basically, you have to find 50 files, like, files with like, collectibles.
Yeah.
But the issue is I've got 65 now, and the trophy hasn't popped, and apparently it's because the trophy's glitched. And basically what you do is you have to go through levels and open crates. Right. And I found a level where you can open 7 crates in about 15 minutes. So I'm going through, opening the crates, restarting it, and doing this over and over again. So I did that for 5 hours yesterday. I got from 30 intel to 65 yesterday. The trophy didn't pop at all. So, so there's a glitch apparently where they've updated it.
Okay.
When they updated last week, no matter what intel you were at, you're starting at 0 for the trophy. So I was on about 35. So I've actually got to get another 15 to 20, maybe in theory, or it's completely broken. I don't know. So it's kind of like, I'm kind of keep thinking, one more trophy, one more intel, it might unlock, but it hasn't been. So it's kind of, that's what kept me playing. But now I'm thinking, it's probably going to be 5 hours, so an hour a day for the rest of the week.
I tell you what, I'll take my hat off to you, because when it comes down to glitch trophies, I'll never touch the game again. At all. I'll get that annoyed and I'll get that frustrated that I'll put it aside. It happened with Division 2. I was going to go for the Platinum on Division 2, and then I got to... The glitch trophy that I got was the bounties. You have to do like, I think it's like 11 bounties or something. And the first one I did glitched out, so it didn't register. So for you to do that again, you have to either go to someone's game and do it, or you have to start a new game. I was just like, no.
I think... No. Like, I've obviously played a lot of games, as have you, and I've read a lot of trophy guides, and a lot of trophy guides have, like, warning glitches, and I've always never had any issues, and I've always thought, like, I must be lucky I haven't had any issues, and I think it is a rite of passage for somebody who's trying to beat all the games, is eventually get a game which glitches on you. And because there's a lot of people who have played Avengers and not had any glitches at all, and obviously that hasn't been the case for me. I know, lucky me, right?
Lucky you.
I hit the jackpot. So... I think it is actually a rite of passage of being a trophy hunter. It has made me realise now I'm going to be putting the brakes on pretty much every game I pick up now in terms of at launch. I'm pretty much going to wait a week or 2 weeks now on games to make sure they actually work, because this game was it's a long game as well. It's not like it's a 20-hour game. It's probably 150-hour platinum, which, that's unplanned. You know how, like, for example... Red Dead, if you plan it out, it's probably 150 hours, but if you don't plan it, it can be up to 300 hours.
Oh, yeah.
If you plan Marvel Avengers, it's probably only about 100 hours, but because I bought it at launch and you couldn't plan for it, it's about 150. So yeah,
but still, like 100 hours is still a long time.
Yeah, and there's not.
It's a big difference from like 150 to 100 because 50 hours is a long time as well. But still, dedicating yourself to a game 100 hours is a long time. That's like at least like 2 weeks of consistent play. Obviously, with people like you have like a job and a life.
Damn those jobs, damn those lives.
Exactly, but it's like consistently playing it for 2 weeks. Like every extra hour or every like free time you have is like playing it. Yeah, you're going for it. It's a long time.
Yeah, and I was gonna say the progression's so slow as well. Like I'm lucky if I get 25 hours a week in gaming. I would say I probably hit about 20, 25. Anything more is very lucky.
Yeah,
and I think because if you've got like 100 hours, the progression is just so slow. You're not getting a trophy for 15 hours.
Yeah,
it's like that can be the grind. So like. I've been playing 8 hours for this Intel only, replaying the same level, and there's no trophy yet, and I'm probably going to have to play another 4 hours to get a bronze trophy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
And also to add, for trophy hunters, like being 15 hours in a game without getting a trophy, you start thinking, how many other games could I have played?
That's so true. I was honestly thinking today, if I'd put this amount of time into Red Dead, I'd almost be finished it. Exactly, I was thinking, I'm playing this game, Avengers. It's not that good. I'm not enjoying it that much. I could have been playing Red Dead 120 hours. I would have been probably on 80% completion rate of Red Dead if I'd been putting this time in. So it's so annoying.
Yeah,
that was really, really annoying me today when I was thinking about it. But
it's the thing of, especially you, like I just settle for the platinum, as you know. I don't go for the 100%, but for you that goes for the 100% as well, that's like the base game and then plus all the DLC. So with some games, the DLC, they kind of make it harder than the actual base game. So you go through all, like Last of Us, for example, they put like a completely extra mode, which is hard or harder than the other ones. Which was like, was it Survivor?
Grounded mode.
However,
Last of Us regardless of what you think of the story, it is a really awesome game to play. So I kind of feel like it's not the end of the world. It was the same with Spider-Man as well. Spider-Man it added New Game Plus, but it's such a good game, you don't mind. Days Gone, however.
See, there you go. But Days Gone is already like a 100-hour game anyway, isn't it?
I think you can platinum in about 70, but then there's a challenge mode which takes about 50 hours, then there is a New Game Plus, which takes about 50 hours. So before you know it, it was my most played game of last year, 160 hours, I think. 155. Although I feel like it's not that bad of a game, and I think the grinding, the DLCs, actually made me think the game was worse than what it was. So I've been reflecting a lot more about it, and I think it's not as bad as I thought it was.
Yeah, I'm still going to play it, but I'm not going to do all the extras. I'm just going to do the platinum. That's it.
I would also probably say, Joel, that actually, in fact, although I'm saying it's an okay game, there's probably better games to play.
Yeah, but it's just been on my list for so long. I kind of feel sorry for it. It's like, yay, I'm still here.
Poor Deacon St. John.
I'm an exclusive. I'm still here.
And his motorbike. Maybe. Right, let's move on. So, we're going to try something different, and it's probably going to go technically wrong. Crash Bandicoot 4 came out. Actually, before we move, we'll keep going. Keep flowing.
You sure?
Crash Bandicoot 4 came out this week. About time, which is a very funny name, I have to say. And we're going to review the trophy list together on this podcast. We're going to talk about it. Joel, are you going to buy this game? What do you think?
I've not seen the trophy list yet, but if it's going to be like in the same difficulty level as Crash Bandicoot 1 or harder, then no. I may just buy it for the collection's sake. Like I've got the Insane Trilogy there, but I played it on Emma's account because I just wanted to try it.
Yeah.
And it's sitting there
that could be a good idea, to be fair. Just play it on a different account.
Yeah.
I think it'll be a good game. I've seen a few reviews, it's done okay. I think me personally, like I like Crash Bandicoot a lot. I think it's got a good nostalgia factor. However, I don't think platformers really are as competitive and as good as other games now. So I kind of feel like, although I like the nostalgia side of it, I just think people kind of over-exaggerate it's how good it is.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's... I mean, it's not a bad game, but it's also not a very in-demand game. Like if they, let's just say, if they made the exact same game, but it wasn't Crash Bandicoot, it probably wouldn't have sold.
Yeah, and that's it. And then that's sort of like, well, it's the sort of thing we had that discussion last week about the new IPs and stuff, and it's like, well, old IPs sell even if the games aren't that good. I'm not saying Crash Bandicoot isn't good. I'm just saying it's not necessarily as good as God of War.
It's not amazing. It's not a 10 out of 10 in my opinion.
No. I agree.
That's entirely my opinion.
I mean, it depends what you want, doesn't it? Like, it's so hard to compare games from different generations now. I think it's when games that are created, say, 20 years ago, like Crash Bandicoot, that are remastered, which it's sort of like back then. Crash Bandicoot was phenomenal in 1999 when it came out. It was a world. It was a gaming industry full of platformers, and it was the best platformer. Now we don't get platformers, or we get very few. So it's still the best platformer, but nobody plays them anymore. And there's a reason why there isn't many platforming games anymore, because the gaming space has evolved beyond it.
Yeah, I think that's why it was so big back then, because it didn't have anything else to kind of compete with it.
Yeah.
Whilst today you've got countless genres.
There's too many games.
And you've got like most games now, like hack and slash games. Devil May Cry, God of War is not hack and slash really anymore. But like the old God of Wars, Devil May Cry, games like that, you've got platforming within the game. So it kind of offers you a little bit more than just the platforming.
Yeah. Well, I've seen someone say that they want a Spyro remaster, and I agree. I enjoyed Spyro more, so I played all three of the trilogy again. I enjoyed Spyro more, and I think I would really, really like a Spyro 4, or whatever it's going to be called, because I know there's been other Spyros and stuff, but I would like another Spyro game.
That's what worries me, though, is another Spyro game. Like, look at how much they botched Spyro with, like, without being the original trilogy, all the ones after that, how bad they made it.
Because it did, yeah.
That's the only thing that worries me. Spyro I really enjoyed nostalgia-wise, but I also probably mostly enjoyed it because it was 3 easy platinums. That didn't take that long.
That's also true, too. Yeah. But then that's kind of what Spyro can be, though. It's like it's just a game that you can actually get surprisingly immersed in, even though it's got it's not relatable at all. It's sort of like an easy game. You jump on, and you have an easy time, and you complete some levels. Whereas Crash Bandicoot, although it's quite immersive, it's sort of the opposite of that. You can't just have a nice casual sit back. You're like this, pulling your hair out at these hard levels. So it's like it's different. It's kind of completely different sort of game.
It's frustrating. Crash Bandicoot. Yeah. Crash Bandicoot is a challenging game, while Spyro is more of a kid's game.
Yeah.
And I think Crash, although it was a kid's game, like kids didn't really have much else to play, so they would have just played Crash, so they would have gotten good at the game. Like, no matter how bad you are at a game, if you play over and over and over again, you're going to eventually be good at the game.
Especially when it's the only game you've got because you're a child.
Yeah, exactly.
It's play Crash Bandicoot or don't play on your PlayStation.
Yeah, what would you choose?
Okay, anyway, guys, so the new thing we're going to try is, in fact, we're going to try and review the trophy list together, me and Joel. So we're going to try and do it now. So
Let's do it.
There's going to be some ongoing technical difficulties. I'm just pre-warning you. I may just call this out, so who knows? We'll find out. Let's go for it.
Oh yeah!
We are back after this short admission. Is that an admission?
I don't know.
Yeah,
it's not transmission.
We wouldn't have a break in the theatre. I think it's an admission. Anyway, we are back now. Anyway, so here we are. Joel, you can see it, right?
I can.
Okay. Here's PSN profiles. So here is the new Crash Bandicoot theme background. Looks pretty good, There's Crash and Coco. We've got no Platinum Trophy achievers on this game yet.
I was looking at that. I'm quite surprised. By this point, there's at least been one person who's done it.
Yeah. Let's just go on Platinum Club, because sometimes it's quite hard. It's quite late. No, nobody has earned the Platinum. The highest amount is 74%. Interesting. That's worrying, Joel.
Okay.
The game's only been out for, 2 days?
I'm quite curious. Yeah, I'm quite curious to see what trophies are stopping people from getting that Platinum.
So our Platinum Trophy is the Master Marsupial, and then we've got beat any boss in inverted mode. So inverted mode, if I'm not mistaken, is an extra mode. Once you finish all the levels, where you can play the game, is it completely the opposite way around?
The backwards.
All the controls backwards.
the end is the beginning and the beginning is the end?
I'm not sure if it's actually like the controls are inverted.
Good God, why?
Imagine how hard that would be. But I think that might be... Well, if you look at the next trophy down, which is backwards and forwards, complete all levels in inverted mode, 0.003%. Bear in mind, guys, that these percentages aren't the percentages on the actual PlayStation Network. These are the percentages on PSN profiles, which is full of only trophy hunters. So of only trophy hunters, 0.03% of those have beat this trophy. So that's probably the one stopping everybody, Joel, I think. Or one of them.
I can imagine how hard it is. But then I'm thinking, like, these people who have got this one, if they've got 0.3%, then what other trophies don't they have?
I'm unsure. There must be one more further down. So, yeah, they've got complete all levels. Complete any level on inverted mode. Bonus path. We know what bonus paths are. They're paths that appear when you collect so many tokens or gems.
Yeah. Complete
all timelines. Obviously, this game's set in time, so that might just be finishing all the levels.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
Same with complete any level. Play a game of a checkpoint race. Any idea what this one will be, Joel?
Checkpoint race. I'm guessing it's like the time trials, but instead of the whole level, maybe checkpoint to checkpoint.
On this something just caught my eye, which is this. Can you see what I'm going to highlight? This plat is about 8 out of 10 difficulty. That's
8 out of 10.
Oh, that's off some things of people who normally write like forums and brag about games being difficult. Always underplay the difficulty. It's like, oh yeah, Dark Souls is a 7 out of 10.
To be fair, in its defense, Dark Souls is probably a 7 out of 10.
Shut up, Joel.
Just saying.
You're literally... Did you write this forum post?
No. I'm not, no, I'd say Crash is like a 12 out of 10.
Oh, God.
I'm just bad at Crash.
Me too. Okay, play a game of create combo. That'll be maybe a mini game or something to do with speedrunning a level. 30% of people have got it, which means it's pretty easy to actually get. Then we've then got some boss levels. Defeat Neocortex again. Defeat Neocortex. By the way, there's spoilers in this. I should have probably put that in the warning.
Yeah.
First.
Well, we're looking at trophies, so
yeah, everyone knows looking at trophies is going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
We've then got defeat Broyo. Embryo.
Embryo. Yeah.
Embryo. I just can't read. I'm an idiot.
Oh, there it is. 0.00. Overachiever.
Watch the 100% bonus ending. Watch the 106% bonus ending.
Nobody's completed the game.
Ah, so that's what it must be.
Completely yet. That's what it is.
Yeah, there's another one as well. Earn all inverted gems. Oh my God.
Good God.
So you've got to play this game, earn all of the gems, and then earn all of the gems in inverted mode as well.
And it's a silver trophy! What the hell?
Oh my God. This is horrendous.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely not getting this game. No thanks.
Guys, this is going to be a tough platinum trophy. Now, I'm thinking looking at this already, if you think if you're skilled or you get good at playing Crash Bandicoot, would you say it's a 30-hour platinum, Joel, or would you say a little bit longer?
Oh, I'd say longer.
What time would you give it?
I don't know. First of all, it depends on like how long the actual game is, because don't forget, you've got to repeat the game over and over and over again to get these extra things. So it's not just finishing the game, you have to put into perspective how many times you have to do like each level. I don't know, this could be over 100 hours, I'd say. Yeah. Well, how long did it take you to platinum just Crash Bandicoot, the first one? The hardest one? I didn't. Oh, did you not? Oh, right. No, that was PS3 Gaming Scotland platinumed. I think he's platinumed all 3. I'm sure I've read about 30 to 40 hours. Now imagine if you had to do that again with all the inverted gems again, probably doubling the length of the game. You're probably looking at 60 to 80 hours, I would have said, for this one. At least. Just looking at the trophies so far. Which maybe even more, because this game's been out for like 4 days and some people are so addicted to these games that they play them non-stop until they're finished. So, who knows? Let's keep going down. So we've got some gems, some miscellaneous ones, do a double jump. So we've got some some story progression trophies here. You got Meet Akuno, Iki, Aika, whatever you want to say, blah blah blah. Earn any insane perfect relic. There's another one here, Joel, as well. Earn all insane perfect relics. I know what that is. And then another one, earn all of the platinum time trial relics. Now, I'm pretty sure, wasn't the first one in Crash Bandicoot only gold relics or higher? Yeah.
This one's on all the Platinum Time Trial relics.
So you have to be perfect.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And then we've got a lot of miscellaneous trophies, I think. Yeah, these are all just miscellaneous stuff that everyone else has pretty much managed to get. Okay, that's pretty crazy. Let's just come back out on this. Hey! Back to normal. Back to old familiar.
No, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I'm scared.
Yeah.
I'm scared of that trophy list. That just looks very, very intimidating for a trophy list.
It looks hard, and it also looks super time consuming. I think I know you said like 80 hours, but I'm more towards like 100 plus. Especially if you're gonna play Crash Bandicoot without, especially if you're gonna play this Crash Bandicoot without playing any of the other ones, which you probably won't. But let's just imagine you're a newbie, you've never played any Crash Bandicoots before, and you're gonna dive into this with the full intention of getting the platinum. Good luck.
Good luck to you.
Good
Prayers be with you.
Yeah.
That actually makes me think. I really hope. Do you know how? If those who didn't know, Cuphead is a really, really hard platforming game. And it was glitched. So it wasn't glitched. There was actually an exploit, so you could platinum trophy this game pretty much in like 10 hours without really doing much. I really hope that this doesn't happen. I hope this game is a hard platinum trophy list, and actually, in fact, if you have it, it's like a badge of honor, like well done.
Yeah.
Because I hate it when games become exploited and people earn trophies for just weird workarounds on hard games. It sort of devalues the trophy list massively.
Yeah.
I'm going to be impressed if anybody finishes this game. If you finish this game, or if you've played this game, you're playing this game now, let us know down below what you think about it, what you think of the trophy list. Obviously, me and Joel haven't played it yet. That was just pure speculation from our experience, probably not the most advanced experience of Crash Bandicoot's trophy lists. So if you think otherwise, you've got an idea as to how hard it is, you want to share a bit of details about that inverted mode, we kind of want to know what that's about. Because we're kind of thinking it's a hard game now. Yeah,
let us know if you were bold before playing this, or if it was just after.
Yeah.
I'm quite curious about that.
No, go on, Joel, what were you going to say?
I'm just saying, it's insane. I can't get over how hard. I mean, I can understand some games being hard, and then it kind of, the platinum list is kind of measured by like 1 or 2 trophies. That's what makes it so hard to get the platinum. But this game it's got like at least 5 that I saw that are just stupid.
The thing is, as well, you kind of, when a developer brings back an old game and they create the trophies and stuff, sometimes you give them the benefit of the doubt and you think maybe they didn't understand how hard the trophies were going to be, or maybe they weren't that bothered about the trophies, so they just tacked them on. Yeah. But this is a second game, really, compared to Crash Bandicoot 1, 2, and 3 Remastered being one game. This is their second game, and they've actually made the trophy list even harder. So I feel like they know what they're doing, and they want it to be a very hard trophy list.
I feel like it's like a what you call it? God. What companies do to make people get things by, like making it challenging. I think they're maybe like they did it on purpose to appeal to these people. Because
masochists.
Yeah, because you're going to think, like you said, the people who are going to get this platinum. Wow. It's like,
damn.
You need a lot of dedication. You need a lot of patience and also a lot of skill. You just, like you said, I hope there's no exploits or anything like that. But if there isn't and you do get the platinum, or if you get the platinum without using the exploits, then Jesus, you're on another level. If you just have the one platinum trophy and it's this, you don't need to platinum any other game.
No.
You've earned the right to become a platinum trophy hunter.
I agree. What you've just said there, you've actually just made us think there. You've just highlighted a lot of like good virtues, like, being patient, and like, it's kind of like when you get to this level of trophy hunting, when you actually you're beating these sort of games, you're actually developing a lot of like key characteristics, like key core traits, which you can actually use in other aspects of your life. Because think how much patience and like determination you've got to have to actually platinum these sort of games.
Oh my god, it's insane.
Like, I would not want to be against that person in anything.
No, definitely not.
Especially not like a long burn.
No, not a chance.
No, like they're the type of people you want on your team, like to help you like finish projects and stuff at work, because they're just going to determine to try really hard.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay,
man.
so that was our new little section where we spoke about Trophy List together. I wanted to do a video on it separately, but I kind of thought that it'd be better to do a free-flowing conversation with yourself, Joel, because it's almost better when you bounce off people, you know.
Yeah.
And let's move on now to the gaming news. We've got some like pretty funny news. A lot of it's probably already been spoken about by every other YouTuber, but I kind of wanted to just give our 2 cents on it because why not? And I'll just get my props. Okay, so you know this, Joel, and everyone does know this, but Microsoft have just bought Bethesda, or just bought, over the past 2 weeks, bought Bethesda for $7.5 billion. That is a lot of cheddar cheese, some would say. And we'll start with this, actually. We'll just say, Joel, how are you feeling about that?
I'm not too bothered. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of the games Bethesda, released. I'm not, I don't like Skyrim. I'm sorry. A lot of people hate me for it, but I just don't. So it doesn't really bother me. I do, however, hope that Microsoft can turn Bethesda around and take them out of the dump. Yeah. And actually, kick them in the butts to actually release good games and games that work.
I 100% think this is actually... I actually think that the takeover of Bethesda by Microsoft is actually a pretty good thing. Because of a couple of things. I mean, I love Bethesda's games, so like I like Doom. I didn't play Doom Eternal, but I like Doom. I love Skyrim, I love Oblivion, I loved Fallout 4, I love Fallout 3. And I like the other games that they've made in the past. I didn't like Fallout 76, obviously. And I think they've gotten this rut of making terrible games, of extremely monetized and bleeding consumers of their money. All they wanted was more and more money. And I think Microsoft, because at the moment they're going for such a pro-consumer way, they're making the xCloud, they're making the Game Pass Ultimate where you can get an Xbox One X Series X like included in your monthly payments. That's so pro-consumer at the moment. I think they're going to do a complete turnaround of Bethesda and make them make better games. And as well, you know what? It would be a shame if Bethesda made their games exclusive. I don't think they will in the short term. I think in the long term they might. And to be honest, I'm okay with that. Like, I am planning on buying both consoles. I'm not a Sony fanboy. Like, I just love games. So I will probably have both anyway. So it doesn't affect me anyway. But if someone said to me, would you want Bethesda of 2019 to make your Elder Scrolls 6? Or would you rather have Bethesda owned by a company which is incredibly pro-consumer make a better game, but it's going to be on exclusive to Xbox? I'll probably still say exclusive to Xbox. That's the way I would probably go. I don't think Bethesda have made a good game since Skyrim. Fallout 4. Probably since Fallout 4. Hold on, take it back. Doom. Take away Doom. They've made some bad games out of some good games.
I think they've had a run of bad games, and the thing is, when they've not just only made bad games, they've made bad games, and then they've crapped on the people who tried supporting them.
Yeah.
To make the games better, and they just kind of said, no, this is how it is. Either like it or stop playing it. Is basically what their answer was, and I think that's what made them so hated. It's because, like, you can release a bad game. Like, everybody has a bad day. Every company has bad games. But if you know that you've made a bad game, try and make something better. Don't just let it go and be like, oh yeah, people get over it.
There's a famous saying which everyone has heard, which is, you don't bite the hand that feeds you. Consumers are the fuel for any company, and the fact that they made Fallout 76, it was horrendous, terrible, and then the loyal fans that they had left over, they then started charging them a monthly fee.
Yeah.
They've not only bit the hand, they basically pulled the guy who's fed them to the ground and just started weighing all over them.
It's true.
It's true. It's just like, what?
So yeah, I hope Microsoft turns them around. Even though I am a PlayStation fanboy or a Sony fanboy, it's still a shame to see a company that was such a huge company be where it is now.
I agree. It's a shame. And I also want to say, in terms of this value, so these numbers get thrown around all the time. 7.5 billion. Is that a lot of money? Is that not a lot of money for a company these days? Well, Joel, you may not know this, and a lot of people don't know of the company Asda. So Asda in the UK is a massive supermarket. It's it is pretty much an Asda in every town in England.
Right.
And it's also there's some in Europe and stuff as well. It's a massive supermarket. It's owned by Walmart, so it's basically like a section of Walmart. It's just been sold. Bear in mind that's thinking. It's in a town. It's in every single town in Britain. So there's probably 300, 400 stores, and they're making millions. So they make billions even. Like I went into an Asda recently, like last year, and I was speaking to somebody basically through work, and they were telling me that the turnover was like £2 million a week for a really small store.
Wow.
Basically, a store that was probably like serving something like 10,000 customers a day, and that was one store. It was tiny. It was one of the. It wasn't a supermarket. It was just a small store. They've just been sold for 6.8 billion. So Asda's been sold for less than Bethesda. Bear in mind, Asda serves the entire nation of the UK and I think Ireland as well, and part of Europe have been sold for less than Bethesda. That is crazy.
Yeah, when you put it that way, it kind of makes you think. And it's a failing company as well.
Yeah.
It's not like it's a successful company. It's not like, you said, they bought Rockstar.
Yeah.
It's a failing company. And a failing company being worth more than a branch.
Pretty much the food provider. The biggest food provider in Britain, pretty much.
Is insane.
It's crazy. And considering as well that Bethesda don't really sell any actual tangible hardcore products anymore. It's a software company.
Yeah.
Asda sells food, and this Bethesda just sells software. It just sort of shows the value of gaming industry now. It is pretty much bigger.
Yeah.
Probably one of the biggest industries. It's probably the biggest media industry in the world. Obviously, we can't compare it to things like oil or cars. But
no.
In terms of actual media, I think it is the biggest, actually. It's like twice the size of film now.
It will be now.
Yeah, it's crazy. So it kind of puts like in a perspective how big companies are. Like, how much would Rockstar actually be worth? Double that? Triple that?
Oh, triple. Easy. Because they're still a successful company. Now, on that subject, this is probably for another time, but just on that subject, will we see the same Rockstar or a downfall of Rockstar? Because the two main people
have left,
that made GTA have gone.
Oh, I think it's definitely a downfall of Rockstar. I think, it's been a downfall. Red Dead 2 was amazing, but
I've also heard like little rumors that those two people are creating a game. The ones that left. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. It's just like little rumors here and there.
I don't know. I just don't know what direction Rockstar are going to go in, because they've had such a heavily monetized game with GTA 5. I can imagine them doing a GTA 6, it not being as good, but it being somehow even more heavily monetized. And I think other than GTA, which fits this extreme monetization sort of cycle, the other games don't fit it. Red Dead 2 didn't fit that monetization cycle.
No.
I don't know if they're going to keep making good games, or they're going to just keep making the same GTA game and just milking it and milking it and milking it. So
well, the thing I'm thinking of is what reason would it take? What reason was the main thing that made the two main people that made the GTAs leave? Because you're not just walking away from like a car or like a bicycle. It's like it's a franchise that you've created. These two people, they created this huge thing that everybody loves, and you're just walking away. Like, there has to be like a very like heavy thing behind this.
I'm just take a shot in the dark and say it's probably to do with corporate greed.
I was thinking that, and I'm thinking also, what's GTA 6 going to be like if that's the case?
Yeah, I don't know.
Will we ever see a GTA 6, or is it just going to be like Half-Life 3?
It's got to be in production now, I have to say. Like,
surely
they must have started a couple of years ago. Like, they'll be working on a big project now, and Bully does not fit the new Rockstar model at all. I think Max Payne's done. I'm not sure what the IPs they actually own anymore. All I think of is Red Dead and GTA. So I feel like, to be fair, if they cycled through those games every 4 years, it probably would be good enough to keep it going. Especially for the next 8 years anyway. Probably for the next generation. You think of a generation only lasting 8 to 10 years. GTA 5 in 2023 and Rockstar. GTA 6 in 2023, Rockstar in 2027.
But what would they do with Red Dead though?
I don't know.
It's quite limited, isn't it? Because you can only go back. Because if you go forward, you're going more into like the GTA territory, which is when you start getting cars and you start getting, motored vehicles.
I know that like Red Dead 2 had a lot to do with Red Dead 1, but at the same time, kind of didn't. Like Arthur Morgan led such a good story that they could do a different story just in a different part of the US in a different time period, like like maybe 30 years before.
Yeah.
Or even 100 years before when the Native Americans were like when there's a wars going on between them and stuff. Like there's loads they can do in the Wild West. I think it just doesn't have to be around that exact time period, because if anything, that's the worst time period of the Wild West, which is why I always think it's so weird that they choose to do it then.
Yeah.
When there was a civil war, there was obviously the wars with the Native Americans. There was like all that stuff around the railroads. There was bigger events during the Wild West than 1901 or 1918.
Yeah.
Was it 1889? Was it?
Yeah. It was just before the new century.
Yeah. Right, let's move on, Joel, because we've got two more topics I want to talk about, and we're probably already at like almost at an hour.
Right.
Okay, so I feel like I just can't have a news. Like I talk about news, I'll talk about EA. So EA, basically, FIFA 21 is coming out in the 9th of October. So today's the 5th, is it? So 4th, so 5 days time, and they have been advertising in a child's toy magazine called Smiths. Smiths is a massive company in the UK. I don't know if it's worldwide, but it's a big toy store in the UK. It's the biggest toy store in the UK, and they've been advertising for FIFA 21. That sounds pretty harmless, does it not? Well, in fact, what they've been doing is they've been advertising in the catalogues how to buy FIFA points and how to spend them, and nothing else about the game. And basically, they've been saying you have to buy FIFA points to buy players to have a good time. That's pretty much what they've been doing.
Wow.
So there's been uproar because people have been saying, well, you're basically enticing gambling to kids.
Yeah.
Smith's is a store based on it's a children's store. It's not a kids. It's not a teen toy store. Do teens have toys anymore? This is like 13 and under, and they're advertising like gambling to kids essentially.
You know what they're trying to do? I think they're trying to make the FIFA packs in the same threshold as when you used to buy the Pokemon packs.
Yeah, they are.
You remember?
Yeah, I agree. That sort of does make me think of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and think, well, is that gambling then? Because surely it is the exact same principle.
Yeah.
And it is gambling.
Yeah, it is. When you think of it, I mean, we've been talking about EA and this Ultimate Team and whatnot, but then if you think of it, this has been around for years, and I did it. I used to ask my dad, "Oh, can I get a pack of like it used to be like £6 or £6.90 or something? It was pretty expensive at the time.
Yeah,
like a pack of Pokemon cards, and used to get like 20." And it was the same thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you had rare, sometimes you didn't, sometimes you had shinies. And it's the same as FIFA. Sometimes you have rares, sometimes you get the special players, which is like Team of the Week. But
what I'd say on that is, to be fair, because I actually, if you watch my channel, I do like Yu-Gi-Oh quite a lot, and I every now and then I go through a phase. Like every couple of years, I'll go, oh, I'm going to buy some Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I'll buy like one pack and go, okay, that's enough. But the difference with those is there's less. You've got more of a percentage of getting the cards that you want. So a lot of the time, for example, say they bring out a new booster pack, there'll only be 300 cards in the booster pack, and you get 10 cards per booster pack. So even if you buy 10 packs, you're probably going to get the rarest cards. So it's actually the drop rate's pretty high. Whereas FIFA, firstly, it's ran by automated electronic gambling, which I never ever trust anyway. So and there's tens of thousands of players, there's tens of thousands of cards you can get, and you can get duplicates all and over all the time. I think it's more extreme now than what it was. However, I do actually think card collecting is essentially gambling as well.
I think I can't remember who told me, but I think FIFA now has done something in the game where it tells you the percentage
in certain countries. No. Yeah, so in the US, I think in the US and the UK and China, I think it does it. But
so it tells you like more or less what the drop rate. But still, I mean, it's still bad. Bringing this up has made me think of like so many card games that look at the match of the day cards.
Yeah,
that's still like you buy the football players, you get the cards, and you essentially you meant to collect all the cards. And each pack is like what, £1, and you get 5 cards.
Yeah, you're right. I think it's shone a lot of light onto actually these gambling tendencies, which are aimed at children. And the thing is, you can say people are going to have different opinions of this. And it's sort of like, well, the definition of gambling is to risk something to get a desired reward, and you're risking your money to get something that you may or may not get. And that is the definition of gambling. That is basically buying packs of any kind. But I think you got to take it. You got to sort of address everything differently. I think, but this is shone light on everything. It's sort of brought the light into everything as to how these things may not be extreme gambling for kids, but it's the fact that they develop gambling tendencies in young children, which can be developed later on in life. If you buy cards, you buy match of the day cards when you're 10, you then start buying FIFA points when you're 13. You know, by the time you're 18, you're pretty much set on gambling real money all the time. Not everybody, of course, but it definitely creates a hostile environment for that sort of addiction to happen.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the older you get, the more money you're going to earn. Well, most people.
Yeah.
But essentially, the more, like, when you get to, like, 15 or 16, you get a job. Not a full-time job, but a part-time job. And you earn, let's say, you know, £50, £60 a week. And if you spend that £60, or even if you spend, like, more than half of that just on the cards, whatever cards it is, whether it be Match of the Day, FIFA, whatever, you're still using the income that you could be using for something productive.
Yeah.
Something that doesn't matter, because especially FIFA, come the end of the year, they're going to bring out another game and you're going to have to start from scratch anyway.
Yeah. I think the issue for me is that nobody is... Well, no, the UK government have basically said it actually is gambling. If something they've said this, basically. It's been debated in the House of Commons, and they said, if something looks like gambling and feels like gambling, it is gambling, and it should be regulated as so. Could not agree with that more. At the minute, the issue is EA and big companies are saying it's not gambling. So children are buying these things. They don't know what gambling is, firstly, and then they're getting told it isn't gambling. So that's a serious issue. That's a serious concoction to have. Something being gambling, but being told it isn't, and then being told it's okay. You're lying to children. No one likes lying to kids. Come on, it's like one of the worst things you can do, ethically speaking. So on that, the UK government of digital culture, media and sport in the UK are running a survey. The survey is to gather evidence specifically around gambling in video games, loot boxes. It's actually catered on loot boxes. I'll put a link down below. If you're in the UK, I heavily encourage you to complete this form. It will take you 5 minutes. It asks you about, pretty much, your experience of loot boxes. How much have you spent on loot boxes? Do you still do it now? How old are you? Do you think they have a negative impact on gaming? And do you think they have a negative impact on, like, people's welfare? I think I really encourage you to do it. I have made my opinions abundantly clear. I think it ruins gaming and it's gambling, and it should be monitored as so. Guys, go check it out. Spend 5 minutes. Do your part to help make gaming better and make kids' lives safer, you know.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, we can joke and do everything, but the thing is, if nobody says anything and things carry on the way they are, we're gonna end up having companies who are gonna make games just for making money rather than actually making a good game.
Yeah.
They're gonna concentrate on the parts that make them money, and then they're gonna give you like a half-assed campaign, like what was it, Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 4?
Yeah,
they completely took out the campaign just to have the online mode.
Yeah,
and it's like I said, if people don't start speaking out, it's just going to end up like that, because the companies are thinking, what's the point in having so much effort in getting a team to do story, choreography, scripts, just things to make a good game, a good story, if they can just pump it all on a mode that is going to make them money.
Yeah, I agree. That is the best example of when companies just try and take the mick out of people and just try and, you know, they say, well, we can get away with it, so we're going to, and, you know, we have a voice and we don't get the opportunity to actually give our opinions in a proper environment where someone's going to act on what we have to say, and this is that environment and that opportunity to do so. So we should all do something about it. But anyway, that's a bit doom and gloomy. Let's move on to our final topic.
Something more upbeat.
Well, it sort of is upbeat. I'm going to make it upbeat. Okay, so we're going to talk about Spider-Man. So Spider-Man is getting remastered if you buy the Ultimate Edition. If you don't buy the Ultimate Edition, unfortunately, Spider-Man 4, you can still play. My understanding is you can play Spider-Man for the PS4 on PS5, but it won't be in your trophy list and it won't be remastered. If you want the remastered edition, you have to buy the Ultimate Edition of Miles Morales. And they have completely changed Spider-Man's face. They've used a new actor model to completely change it. Now, I've been challenged to try and be positive about this. So Josh from the Platinum Trophy has challenged me to try and be positive about this. So I'm not going to say my opinion yet. I'm going to listen to Joel. I'm going to listen to your opinion, and I'm going to say what I think. So come on, let's hear what you've got to say.
I don't know. I think over time I'll probably get used to it. But the only thing that I don't like is if it's not broken, why change it?
Yeah.
The character for me was I think not just my opinion, but a lot of people, like with Twitter posts and it's basically everywhere. Like there has been a pretty big uproar, and I think most people disagree with the change because most people thought that the Peter Parker in the game matched the age and matched like the experience and everything. This new facial actor, whatever, this new face, it makes him look a lot younger. It doesn't make him look like he's like in his 20s. It makes him look like his teenager still, like 19.
Tom Holland.
Yeah, it's just I don't know why, and I don't know why they would have done that. Like, what's the big deal? Like, are they planning to? Did they sack the other actor or something? And now they obviously have to change this one in order to include this actor in the next game. Like, I don't know what the hell happened.
I don't know. I'm trying to be positive. I'm going to say that I don't want to rule him out because he could be really good. I think the voice actor who was used was phenomenal in Spider-Man 2018.
Yeah.
For me, he was actually the best Spider-Man I think I've ever seen across all medias. He's better than Tobey Maguire, he's better than Tom Holland, he's better than Andrew Garfield, and he's better than any Spider-Man we've seen in games. I think he was just the face delivered, as well as the voice acting. Is it by Yuri something? I can't remember his name. All in all, it was a complete package. I kind of just going to hope and give him a chance that it's going to be at least as good. He does look a lot younger though. He does look like they've sort of modelled it around Tom Holland. So it's sort of like, I don't know if it's just to bring in a younger audience again. But someone showed this photo saying Miles Morales at 15 looks about 25, whereas Peter Parker from the new remastered looks about 15. He's meant to mentor Miles.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
I think a lot of people don't like change. I think it's pretty standard across all aspects of everything. People don't like having their lives changed. They don't like to be challenged on things that they like. And I think a lot of people just are so quick to jump on the hostile towards something that's different. And I mean, that's what happened with Last of Us Part 2, let's be real. The story was, we're not talking about exactly what happens, but some people had such an issue with certain aspects of the story because there was a big change in who you played as. And that was my way of not spoiling it. And I think people are so quick to jump to hate something that they don't give it a chance. And I think, although I may not like it initially, I'm going to go in hoping for the better because Spider-Man it's my favourite game, probably one of my favourite games of all time. And me sitting with a soured attitude saying that I'm not going to enjoy it going forward, it doesn't do me any service, it just does me a disservice.
Yeah, that's true, but in the same breath, there wasn't anything wrong with that Peter Parker. Do you know what I mean? It's not, I'm all for change if the change is needed. Like for example, in the movies, Tobey Maguire, not so much. I really like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but Andrew Garfield, first film I thought was really good. Second was garbage. It needed either like a complete makeover. I didn't think it was necessarily Andrew Garfield. That was the issue. But still, it was a bit of a mess. The second film was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2 was garbage.
Yeah, and so they changed it to Tom Holland. Tom Holland has fit the character nicely, I must say, for that age. Because he's a lot younger than Tobey Maguire was meant to be, really. I mean, Tobey Maguire was meant to be like 18, 19.
In the first movie, by the time Spider-Man 3 is probably about 24, 25, I would have
Exactly. Tom Holland, he's 15 in the first, which isn't even a Spider-Man film, it's the Avengers. Not Avengers, sorry. Civil War. But anyway, those changes needed to happen. Tobey Maguire was getting too old for the Spider-Man, and the direction they were doing, like the age, the year gap between the films wasn't enough for the age gap from the actual actors. So that needed to change. Andrew Garfield, second movie was garbage. It needed a complete makeover. It was horrible. With this Spider-Man, they did nothing wrong. Everybody loved the character. Yeah. Everybody loved the story. Everybody loved the gameplay. Everybody loved the game as a whole in general. Why change it and make it harder for themselves in the long run?
Yeah, I completely agree with that as well. I think it
I
would
can't
be
be
some.
positive. I can't.
It's some. I'm struggling. I am struggling. I'm like fighting every fibre in my body not to just stop screaming that I hate it. It's I think it's probably being done by some sort of corporate political decision. Either to make more money or to fall out with somebody. It's never any other reason.
No, but
so
that's what angers me. Like not people. Gaming now is because it's a business. They don't have people's interests as a priority.
Yeah,
and that's horrible. And it goes hand to hand with EA, what we were talking about in the previous topic, because it's become something that makes a lot of money. It automatically becomes a business, and automatically other things are put before what should really matter, which is consumers being happy. I think before making such a big change, they should have at least made a survey or made something.
Yeah. But
So,
that
include people at least a little bit, instead of just being like, boom, this is a new Spider-Man, here you go.
It's happening regardless.
Yeah.
Which is basically what they've done.
And it's kind of a kick in the teeth. I really loved Insomniac. And they kind of let me down, and I think they've let most of the
They've let a
players
lot
down.
of people down, yeah. But all we can do is try and accept it now, because it isn't going to change.
I mean, Spider-Man is Spider-Man at the end of the day. I think I'll love Spider-Man however he comes. It's just the way it is. You just have to get used to it. But I think it's just the sudden change as well. And it was kind of came with like no warning before. Like there was no talks of anything changing. It was just going to be compatible for the PlayStation. That was it. And then out of nowhere, boom! It's not just that. We've got a brand new face. Here you go.
Backhand. There you go. It's like, here you go. Here's a new Spider-Man. New character.
There's a new face.
It's like, like, you know, do you know when someone's like, does this? They say, like, smell the cheese and they punch you in the face. That's literally what they've done. It's like, do you want a new Spider-Man? Spider-Man's right here. Come on. Boom. New character.
Have a new face. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. On that, we'll wrap things up. You know, I think we've covered pretty much everything we wanted to cover today. Do you have any final thoughts, Joel?
No, just for Crash, anybody who, by the time you're watching this, if you've platinumed Crash, please let us know.
Yeah, we would like to hear from that.
Yeah,
I mean, if you have anything to do, if you have any opinions on all of the topics we spoke about today, you know, we spoke about gaming fatigue, how do you handle trophy fatigue, we spoke about Bethesda, well, actually, no, we spoke about Crash Bandicoot, you know, what's your opinions on the trophy list? Are you going to go for the platinum? Are you working on it now? How long is it going to take? Let us know down below. Bethesda being bought by Microsoft, what are your thoughts? Are you scared because you're not going to be able to get your Elder Scrolls 6 on PlayStation, or are you excited because it means it might be able to be controlled by Microsoft? Microsoft might have more say. Or what about EA? Guys, please check out that questionnaire, that survey. It's down below. It'll be the first link. Click on it and fill it out. It'd be really, really important to help making game better in the future. And finally, what are your thoughts on Spider-Man? Happy with the face? Not happy? You like Joel and not happy? Are you like me, sort of trying to do your best to accept it?
But really internally hating it?
But I'm going to go scream. As soon as I press end, I'm going to just go outside and scream in my garden. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. I really appreciate all the support. Go check out Joel's channel. Link will be in down below. And thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.